Co-op games are important. The social component of gaming propelled the medium forward during the 2000s especially, and with couch co-op sort of dying off in the 2010s, we were becoming starved of phenomenal cooperative experiences. Co-op games foster a need for communication and collaboration, allowing players to strengthen relationships or create new ones through the shared experiences. That sense of camaraderie, I imagine a lot of your favourite gaming experiences came from moments in games like this, and it seemed as though they were becoming less and less common, slowly approaching the line of extinction. That's where Hazelight Studios came in and saved the day. 6 years ago, they dropped A Way Out, where you and a friend just escape from prison and evade the police, and it's a great story, it's a great time. But this isn't a video about A Way Out. This is a video on the masterpiece that followed it. The greatest co-op game of all time, It Takes Two. So, It Takes Two has both players playing a married couple, May and Cody, whose relationship is on the brink of falling apart and is of course causing a deep sadness in their child. The child's tears somehow turn the parents into dolls, and you are then told by a Mexican book that they must work together in order to return to their original bodies.
Yes, why do you always blame him?
Thank you.
Oh, oh!
What is that?
I'm Dr. Haki!
And trust me when I say that the creativity in the level design in this game is just off the charts. The game can only be played in co-op. The entire game is built around the idea that two players must work together in order to progress. This is evident in the myriad of gameplay mechanics that require synchronized actions, communication and coordination. Each level introduces new gameplay mechanics that are unique to the two characters. Each character will have a different ability in each level to the other. This ensures that players must rely on each other to overcome obstacles, fostering a deep sense of partnership as you'll need to work together to progress. The puzzles in It Takes Two are designed to be solved cooperatively, often requiring both players to perform different tasks simultaneously, from things such as having different tools to one of them being able to conjure flowers the other must use to progress, and each level switches up the formula dramatically. This adds a layer of complexity and satisfaction to the game, as no mechanic sticks around too long to really become tiresome. The game serves as a sort of roller coaster of mechanics, where the devs utilise their unbridled creativity with such force that you've simply got to commend it. And then you've also got the boss battles. Each boss battle is designed to require both players working together much as the game does in other parts, utilising their unique abilities and coordinated efforts in order to defeat it. This design philosophy ensures that the essence of cooperative gameplay is maintained throughout even the most challenging parts of the game. In the early stages of the game, players encounter the Toolbox Boss. Toolbox Boss, say that really quick a few times. This battle exemplifies the game's emphasis on co-op mechanics. Cody wields nails that can be thrown and lodged into surfaces, while May uses a hammer head to swing across gaps and attack. This intricate dance of cooperation emphasises communication and timing, making the victory feel very earned and deeply satisfying. But this goes even further, as the boss battles also represent issues in the marriage of May and Cody. Each boss encounter is tied to the emotional journey of the protagonists, often symbolising the conflicts and challenges within their relationship. Each encounter is also accompanied by striking visual effects and a powerful musical score that heighten the intensity and drama of the battle tenfold. The detailed animations and dynamic camera angles further immerse the players in the action. The Moon Baboon boss battle takes place in a space-themed setting where the visual design and audio cues play a significant role in creating an otherworldly experience that is, you could say, out of this world. I'm sorry, don't click off, I'm sorry. The battle involves avoiding laser beams, navigating through low-gravity environments, and using space-themed gadgets. The visual spectacle of the lasers and the futuristic environment, combined with an energetic soundtrack, just make for a spectacle that's wildly impressive. The visual design of the game is also just gorgeous. It's colourful and imaginative, evoking a sense of wonder and adventure. Each level is crafted with unique environments that range from a cosy suburban home to a fantastical garden, an imposing clock tower, and even a vibrant space-themed level as I mentioned before. This diversity in setting ensures that players are constantly exposed to new and exciting visuals, keeping the experience fresh. The art style also complements the game's narrative, which, despite dealing with serious themes such as marital discord, maintains a light-hearted and hopeful tone throughout. Moreover, the aesthetic diversity is also tied to the gameplay mechanics. Each level not only introduces creative game mechanics, but also new visual elements that are not only pleasing to the eye, but integral to the gameplay. For instance, the garden level features oversized plants and insects, which creates an abnormal sense of scale that emphasises how small the characters are, which also, in turn, relays the theme of growth and nurturing. By aligning visual design with gameplay mechanics, It Takes-Two ensures that the aesthetic is not merely superficial, but deeply embedded into the player's interaction with the game world. It helps to build things up nicely. The characters themselves also contribute to this varied aesthetic. Cody is a clay doll with a rugged, handmade appearance, whilst May is a wooden doll with more refined features. These designs not only make the characters visually appealing, but also serve as a constant reminder of the predicament and the fantastical nature of the premise of the game. The enemies and NPCs they encounter are equally diverse, ranging from anthropomorphic tools and toys to fantastical creatures, each with its unique design that enhances the game's visual variety. And then you've got the audio design, which further complements the visual aesthetic, creating an immersive sensory experience as well. The game features a dynamic soundtrack that adapts to the different levels, enhancing this atmosphere and emotional tone of each section. The sound effects and voice acting are also carefully crafted to match the style, adding depth to the world. Additionally, the game's cutscenes and narrative sequences are beautifully animated. The animation in this game is absolutely incredible, which provides a cinematic quality that draws you into the story. These sequences are characterised by fluid animation and expressive character design, which convey emotions effectively, which enhances the storytelling as well. The transitions between gameplay and cutscenes are also seamless, maintaining visual continuity and ensuring that players remain immersed in the world with no sort of loading screens or anything of that ilk. But let's not forget what this game is first and foremost. It's a platformer. And all this creativity means nothing if the platforming isn't great. I played a game last year you may not have heard of called After Us, which had a lot of ambition. Similarly to It Takes-Two, it had plenty of variety in its gimmicks and its world was aesthetically pleasing. But the core platforming was really poor, and it vehemently held the game back because for all the bells and whistles, on a minute-to-minute basis, the game felt frustrating to play. With It Takes-Two, it's the precision of the platforming mechanics that stand out. The controls are responsive and intuitive, allowing for smooth and accurate movement. The precision is crucial in a platformer as it ensures that players feel in control of their characters and can execute complex maneuvers with confidence. The game's level design complements the precision by offering well-crafted challenges that test your skill level without feeling unfair. Every jump and swing is calibrated to provide a satisfying sense of progression and accomplishment. Each and every time you die, it is either you or your partner's fault. It is never the fault of the game. And then we've got the story. Now, in terms of the story, this is the one element where I actually feel like the game could fall short. The game is funny. Watching May and Cody bumble around and struggle to progress is entertaining, and witnessing their relationship get repaired is endearing and heartwarming, there's no denying that. But the game, whether inadvertently or otherwise, relays a rather poor message to the player on the subject of marriage and divorce. Now, this is a video about a video game, not marriage counselling 101, so I'm not going to moan about this for too long, but essentially the game implies that all it takes to repair a relationship is effort, which is simply not true. By oversimplifying complex marital issues, placing undue emphasis on staying together for the sake of the kids, this just endorses unrealistic solutions and stigmatises divorce. It is crucial to approach its story with a critical mind and recognise that, in reality, the dynamics of marriage and the decision to divorce are far more intricate and personal than this game suggests they are. However, this isn't exactly the first game where you've got to suspend your disbelief or anything like that, so it's really not a major issue, just something I wanted to mention. The game's narrative still has a lot of cool moments. The section with the elephant is something that'll haunt me forever, I'm sure. But beyond that, each level also focuses on an issue within May and Cody's marriage. For example, in the garden level, I've mentioned the garden level a hell of a lot, but players navigate through the lush, overgrown environments which symbolise growth and renewal. The seamless integration of story and gameplay enhances the emotional impact and keeps players invested in both the narrative and the platforming challenges. There's no ludo-narrative dissonance here. And then we've got Dr. Hakeem, with his exaggerated flamboyant mannerisms and enthusiastic voice, serving as both comic relief and as a narrative catalyst, pushing Cody and May towards reconciliation. His playful yet insightful commentary helps to lighten the mood during moments that could have got a bit too tense and provides players with a clear sense of direction and purpose. By personifying the relationship advice book, Hazelight Studios cleverly integrate a narrative tool that enhances the story's emotional depth whilst keeping the tone lighthearted and engaging at the same time. Now for one of the most appealing aspects of the game, its accessibility. I played this game twice, once with my friend who also plays games, and once with my girlfriend, who's never really played any game ever. This gave me two completely different experiences. I had the first experience where my friend and I were exploring together, working things out in unison, to my second experience where I got to watch someone who couldn't move her camera and the character at the same time manage to take down bosses eventually. The game's cooperative nature fosters an environment where more experienced players can help guide and assist newcomers. This dynamic means that a seasoned gamer can help a less experienced partner through more challenging sections, offering real-time support and advice. The game also just gives off the vibe that it's going to be accessible. The game's bright, colourful graphics and the whimsical art style create an inviting atmosphere that is appealing to a broader audience, including those who might be intimidated by the more realistic and darker aesthetics of many other games. The clear visual cues and distinct character designs can help players understand their objectives and navigate the world easier. The game also boasts a host of features that make things easier for anybody that may be struggling. The inclusion of very frequent checkpoints and forgiving mechanics such as unlimited lives, quick respawns, that sort of thing, reduces frustration and keeps the game accessible even if you're failing. These elements ensure that new players can progress through the game without feeling pressured to not make a mistake, encouraging them to experiment and get better on their own. Finally, the requirement for this game to be co-op means that newcomers can play with friends or family, making the gaming experience more social and less daunting. The social aspect can be particularly appealing to new gamers who might feel more comfortable learning the ropes in a supportive and familiar environment. Playing with a partner can also make the experience more fun and less solitary. It can sometimes be difficult to recommend a first game to somebody, but I genuinely don't think there's a better choice than It Takes Two. It showcases the creativity the world of video games has to offer, whilst remaining simple and fun at the same time. Look, I've played a hell of a lot of co-op games in my time, and It Takes Two is just the best one that I've played. It's as simple as that. Creativity is plastered all across this medium, and It Takes Two is a game that explodes relentlessly with it. There's a reason this game won Game of the Year a couple of years back. Nostalgia will plague the minds of many into believing we've had a cooperative game this good before, but eventually, time will do It Takes Two even more justice than it's already gotten, and it will forever be remembered as one of the best co-op games we will ever get the luxury of playing, and as of right now, the best we ever have. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. I hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, then please consider leaving a like, because that would greatly help me out. And if you want to see more videos from me, you could always subscribe, because I upload videos every single week. But that's enough for now. Have a nice day, and goodbye.